Chat. Hi friends. Have you ever felt worried or scared? Maybe you faced a really big problem and you just didn't know what to do. Well, today we're going to learn something amazing. When things feel way too big for us, God is even bigger. Because guess what? The battle belongs to the Lord. Imagine this, a huge group of families. The Israelites were finally free after a long time. They were walking through a big sandy desert, following their leader, Moses. They were so excited to be on their way to a new home. One of the kids might have been thinking, wow, we're really free, while another one was probably wondering, where are we even going? They had left Egypt, but the journey ahead was long and a little bit mysterious. They just knew they had to trust God and follow Moses. As they walked and walked, with the sun shining down, they suddenly heard a sound. It started off faint, like a distant rumble, but it got louder and louder and louder. It was the sound of horses, hundreds of them, galloping fast across the sand. A huge cloud of dust was rising up behind them, getting closer every second. It was Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. He had changed his mind and decided he wanted his people back. So he sent his entire army with all his fast chariots and soldiers to chase them down. The Israelites looked ahead, and all they could see was a giant body of water, the Red Sea. It was too wide and too deep to cross. Then they looked behind them, and they saw Pharaoh's army getting closer and closer. They were trapped. One of the kids probably cried out, "We're trapped. The sea is in front of us, and the soldiers are right behind us. What are we going to do?" Everyone started to feel very scared. It seemed like there was no way out. They felt completely stuck between a giant ocean and a powerful army. But just when everyone was starting to panic, their leader Moses stood tall. He raised his staff and spoke with a loud, calm voice that cut through all the fear. He said, "Don't be afraid. Stand still and watch how God will save you today. The Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still." What an incredible message. Moses was reminding them that even though their problem looked huge, even though it looked impossible, God's power was even bigger. He was telling them that this wasn't their fight. They didn't need to figure it all out. They just needed to trust that God was in control. And then something happened that no one could have ever imagined. God did a miracle. As Moses held out his staff over the water, a strong wind started to blow. The wind blew and blew all night long, pushing the water of the Red Sea apart. The water piled up on the left and on the right, creating two giant, towering walls of water. And right down the middle, a path of dry land appeared. Can you believe it? A dry road right through the middle of the sea. The kids looked in total awe. One probably whispered, "Whoa, a path through the sea." And the other shouted, "God is really fighting for us." So, following Moses, all the Israelite families began to walk on the dry ground, right between the walls of water. They walked safely all the way to the other side. God had made a way where there was no way, And what about their big, scary problem? The Egyptian army. Well, once all of God's people were safely across, God took care of that problem completely. The walls of water came crashing back down, and the entire army was washed away. God had saved them. Because why? That's right, the battle belongs to the Lord. You know, sometimes we face things in our own lives that feel hard or scary. Maybe it's a tough test at school, a problem with a friend, or just a time when you feel worried or alone. It might feel like you're trapped with a big sea in front of you and a scary army behind you. But I want you to remember what the Israelites learned that day. God is with you. God is stronger than any problem you will ever face, and you are never ever facing your battles alone. He is always there to help you, to guide you, and to make a way for you. So whenever you feel scared or unsure about something, I want you to remember this story and say this with me. God is bigger than my problems. The battle belongs to the Lord. Say it loud and proud, because it's true. And guess what, friends? This adventure is just the beginning. We're remaking a whole 12-episode series all about how God helps his people and how he helps you too. So if you want to learn more, see more amazing miracles, and keep growing strong and brave, don't forget to follow our YouTube channel so you don't miss the next episode. Click that follow, subscribe, or hit the little bell button so we can go on this amazing journey together. We can't wait to see you again for episode 2. Bye for now.